On the world news tonight from Baba Bagidi Imo Television, first the headlines. Tinubu keeps mum on state police. FG orders prompt payment of death benefits to deceased civil servants. Supreme Court upholds 5-year sentence of Farouk Lawan. Naval Chief Emmanuel Ogala in trouble over multi-billion-Naira oil bunkering. On sport, why I have not used Kelechi Iheanacho, I am Morire Rebila Lawal. The news in detail. Amid rising insecurity across the country, many Nigerians have intensified the call for creation of state police. However, President Bola Tinubu's opinion on the issue matters has kept his cards very close to his chest. Demand for state police has in the last couple of years become a political landmine. Because of the fear of abuse by governors, members of the National Assembly have consistently rejected any bill seeking to amend the Constitution to allow state police. In 2022, the National Assembly and governors had a standstill over the state police bill. During the last Constitution alteration exercise, the National Assembly rejected the state police bill. However, the bill was reintroduced by Ubasani, who was representing Kaduna Central in the state. The governors had insisted that they would reject all other bills if the National Assembly did not reconsider the state police bill, but the lawmakers stood their ground. The Nigerian Labour Congress and Nigerian Union of Teachers also backed the lawmakers, stating that governors who are unable to pay salaries of civil servants cannot be trusted with the state police. Hence, the last assembly did not pass the bill. The recent insecurity is driving a new conversation on state police. Nigerians across the country are living under uncertainty caused by general insecurity. Less than 4 weeks into the new year, Nigeria has experienced mass killings, mass abductions, and other vices that have left the people in the state of panic and confusion. The Federal Civil Service, the head of service of the Federation, Dr. Folashade Yemi Eson, has charged its officers in the ministries, extra-ministerial development department and agencies MDAs on the strict implementation of the group life assurance policy and prompt payment of death benefits to beneficiaries of deceased civil servants across the country. The unit made the disclosure in a meeting facilitated by the Insurance Administration Department in the OHCSF and Insurance Desk offices in various MDAs, as well as the paramilitary formations on Wednesday in Abuja. Represented by the director overseeing the Office of the Permanent Secretary, Service Welfare in the OHCSF, Dr. Kemi Adeosun, the head of service of the Federation, passionately appealed to the officers to embrace a culture of continuous improvement for expeditious payment of claims by government-accredited insurance brokers. Moving on to the next story. The Supreme Court has upheld the 5-year sentence of former House of Representative member Farouk Lawan for receiving a bribe of $500,000 from businessman Femi Otedola. His appeal sought to set aside the February 24, 2022 judgment of the Court of Appeal in Abuja, which sentenced him to a 5-year jail term and discharged him on 2 out of the 3 counts on the corruption charge brought against him by the federal government. In the late judgment prepared by Justice John Okoro, but read by Justice Tijani Abubakar, the Apex Court held that Lawan's appeal was without merit and dismissed it. The 5-member panel unanimously affirmed the 2022 judgment of the Court of Appeal, which upheld Lawan's sentencing to 5 years in respect of only count 3 of the 3-count charge on which he was tried at the High Court of the Federal Capital Territory. Lawan was convicted and sentenced to prison in 2021 for accepting a $500,000 bribe from businessman Femi Otedola, chairman Zenon Petroleum and Gas Limited. A 3-member panel appeal court led by its president Monica Donban Mensem had unanimously overturned the lawmaker's conviction for 2 of the 3 offenses he was earlier jailed for by the lower trial court in June 2021. To the next story. Barely 7 months into his tenure as Chief of Naval Staff, Emmanuel Ogala is now battling to save his job after being flagged for his role in aiding the loosely coordinated bunkering of Nigerian crude and multi-billion-naira contract splitting fraud. Information reveals after reviewing documents and speaking with federal sources familiar Mr. Ogala's sprawling raid of military airmarks has already drawn the awareness of Defense Minister Bello Matawalle. Information also gathered that although it was not immediately understood how far he would be willing to go to hold the Naval chief accountable, two sources said Mr. Matawalle until last week was also still being supplied with details of what they characterized as Mr. Ogala's disturbing exploit in Nigerian territorial waters. Mr. Ogala, 55, was named by President Bola Tinubu in June 2023 to replace Awal Zubairu Gambo, who had faced similar accusations while serving from 2021 to 2023. A Defense Ministry source mentioned effort to inform the President had reached an advanced stage. However, the President would handle the case. The crisis was unclear, and a spokesman declined comment Friday morning. Earlier this month, the minister was suspended from office after the President learns over untidy use of public funds. Moving on to the north. Captured Zamfara Bandit Kingpin Babangkiawe narrates how he collected 5 million naira levy from villagers, killed policemen, others. A bandit leader, Babangkiawe, has confessed to collecting peace and safety levies from villagers in Zamfara state. Kaiwe, in a viral video, told police interrogators that he and other members of his gang had collected about 5 million naira from villagers in the Saifi local government area of Zamfara state. He also confessed to killing Wen Senisi Dakulu and Wen Suleiman Usman after collecting 500,000 naira from each of them. According to him, Dakulu was killed because he joined a local militant group formed to resist bandits. Usman was also killed for no justifiable reason. He said he regretted that a member of his gang and cousin, Babalo, fired the shot that killed Usman despite paying the tax imposed on him. It is true we collected 500,000 from Senusi, but we had to kill him because he decided to join a militant group to antagonize us. We are also responsible for the death of 2 policemen at Keita. We ambushed them, killed the 2, and took away 2 AK-47 rifles, he added. In case you're just joining, you are watching the world news from BGI Television. An Ikeja Sexual Offences and Domestic Violence Court has sentenced Feyi Daniels, founder of Irene Christian Ministry, to life imprisonment for making an act with a female church member. The trial judge, Rahman Oshudi, on Friday, January 26, found declared guilty of the acts which contravenes the law of the state. Daniels was arraigned by Lagos State government over the act, attempted rape and sexual assault on his church members. He was accused of doing the act 3 of his church members who are female at his residence in Lekki and on his church premises in Ikeja. Going on to the next story. The kidnapped caretaker chairman of Okum Local Government Area, LGA, Reverend Gideon Anungon, has been rescued after spending 2 weeks with his abductors. He was kidnapped with his personal assistant, his driver, and police orderly at the early hours of Saturday, January 13, 2024, between Katsina Ala, Zaki Biam Road, on their way to burial of the 10th Katsina Ala Chief Vazanga Wombo. He was rescued with his PA by troops of 72 Special Force Battalion under 401 Special Brigade commanded by Brigadier General A. Rabiu on Wednesday in Katsina Ala between 5 and 6 p.m. The troops said they acted on a distress call, carried out rescue mission, and in the process destroyed 3 camps of the kidnappers. When we recovered him, we brought him down to our barracks in Makurdi. We administered force aid on him and also gave him food to eat. He is in a good condition. While narrating his order to newsmen at the 72 Battalion in Makurdi, Reverend Gideon said on the fateful day he was on his way to attend a burial. At that point, I told my driver to stop the car and took us straight into the bush. They covered my face throughout the period of my captivity. I did not know when it is daytime or night. They kept us inside a thatched house without air. Each day the soldiers would come shooting, but they maneuvered their way through a bush path and eat us inside a river. The soldiers destroyed their camps and they kept moving us to another place. They did not feed me because they did not have food themselves to eat. I was urinating often, so they gave me banana leaves and it starts. And to the next story, foreign news. The UN top court on Friday said Israel must prevent genocidal acts in Gaza and facilitate urgently needed humanitarian aid into the besieged territory, handing down rulings in a case that has drawn global attention. The court urged Israel to refrain from any possible genocidal act as it presses its military operation in the Gaza Strip, but stopped short of ordering a ceasefire. The ICJ President Joanne Donok and ICJ judges arrived at the International Court of Justice prior to the verdict announcement in the genocide case against Israel, brought by South Africa in The Hague on January 26, 2024. It was said Israel must take immediate and effective measures to enable the provision of urgently needed basic services and humanitarian assistance to address the adverse conditions of life faced by Palestinians, the court said. At this stage, the ICJ was not considering whether Israel is actually committing genocide in Gaza. That process will take several years. Finally, sports. Super Eagles of Nigeria coach Joseph Peseiro has explained why Kelechi Iheanacho is yet to make a single appearance at AFCON 2023. Nigeria's coach Peseiro has explained his reason for not using players like Kelechi Iheanacho, Francis Uzoho, Ahmed Musa, and Terry Murphy in the ongoing 2023 Africa Cup of Nations in Abidjan. Peseiro has brought a squad of 25 players to the tournament, with Iheanacho in particular expected to play a key role for the Super Eagles. Despite arriving with a knock, the Leicester City man has been available for selection since the second game against host Ivory Coast. That ends the world news this hour from BGI Television. Before we go, some headlines. Insecurity, Tinubu keeps mum on state police. FG orders prompt payments of death benefits to deceased civil servants. Supreme Court uphold 5-year sentence of Farouk Lawan. We also brought to you Naval Chief Emmanuel Ogala in trouble over multi-billion-Naira oil bunkering business. On sports, why I have not used Kelechi Iheanacho at AFCON. For updates of our broadcast on YouTube, our handle is Baba Gbagede Imo Television. Kindly subscribe and click on the notification bell selected from all to access all of our broadcasts. On Facebook, Gbagede Imo with Alawi Adebayo. Please like and follow the page. Thank you for watching. Jomat Mufida. To all faithful Muslims all around the world, I am Morire Rabila Lawal. Good evening.